Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Alvin and Chris here.
What's happening?
Episode 51.
51. The start of a new era.
A new era. No season 4. We're just into episode 51.
Yeah.
You're still clean shaven.
Well, kind of. It's kind of grown back a little bit, but
It's going to take a while to get that.
Give me a month and a half, and I'll be back a little bit. But
it's going to take a while to get the.
Not until probably next season before that comes back.
The leprechaun beard that we're.
The good news is it hasn't really affected my golf game too much, so that's good.
So thanks for joining us for episode 51. It's just going to be us this time. So as we go through, me and Chris are going to jump on and do some pods. We still have some guests lined up to jump on the podcast, and we're going to continue our Monday drops throughout the entire summer, hopefully.
Yeah, it's become kind of our thing throughout the winter, right? I mean, we've been dropping them pretty steady and having some success with that.
The guests have been quite entertaining. The ability for us to get guests on quite a regular basis has been nothing short of absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, you've done a lot of good work there, getting a bunch of the guests on there, and I mean, we've had a lot of good returns on that, like on viewership and listeners and stuff like that. And I mean, we had some really cool people on during the winter. I mean, Leah from the Alberta Golf Tour, which we're excited about. Speaking of which, 1 month we're coming up on our first event.
So yeah,
which will be awesome.
We're here at the beginning of May now, and June 1st is the Desert Bloom event, right?
Yeah, and we're both signed up, ready to go.
We're both signed up for the Mickelson National one in Calgary.
Oh God, I'm so excited for that.
That's in August, I believe.
Yeah, that's
early
towards
August.
The end of the year.
So, and in between there, we're going to be doing more tournaments and scrambles and all kinds of crazy stuff.
And I mean, you might not. I mean, right now on our socials, there's nothing up for our season this year, but there is something coming.
There will be a Mulligans and Hackers season.
It'll be
4.
Yeah, it'll be a season 4.
Season 4?
But it'll be a cut down season. Let's just say we probably only have 9 or 10 events this year as compared to
because our
18
golf
to 20 before.
Our golf is grown to a point where we've got a lot of other stuff on tap to do in the summer, whether it's other tournaments, whether it's the Alberta Golf Tour.
Yep.
We've got other things on tap, and we always want to continue and have the Mulligans and Hackers Tour for our pals and us competing against each other. That's going to always be there in some format, some aspect, but a lot of other opportunities have opened up for us, and we are definitely trying to get in as many experiences in golf as we possibly can. And this summer is a transition summer. As you've probably known, throughout the winter, we've changed home courses. We've had the opportunity to get out and play. I think I've been 7 times I've been out. And I've 4 18s and 3 or 4 9s.
Yeah, something like that. I played 9 rounds now.
Is that including your Vegas trip?
No,
because that's this year as well.
So then 11 rounds technically, if you include my Vegas trip.
Right. So
I mean, actually, you know what? I should go back and put my Vegas trip into my Golf Canada app because I haven't done that yet. I do have the scorecards, so I can do that.
You should.
Yeah. No, I've played 11. I played 36 on Sunday and then 18 on Saturday because we typically play 36 on the weekend, but I played
it's a little different with the course that we're at too now. We don't have as much freedom to jump on and just go as we used to in previous years. But that's the price of changing courses and going to a course that's, I guess, more how would you put it, more regulated, more how would you put it?
I guess it's it's more of a standard course, I guess you would say.
Because it's a par 72.
I mean, the last one, our old course was a executive par 66. I mean, we were just talking about this yesterday, right? Because, the weather was crap, and we had a tee time, and all of a sudden they closed, and our tee time was gone, and nobody really knew about it. And we were like, oh, okay. And yet I look at our old course, and we absolutely could have went down there and golfed because they just want to get guys down there golfing. So it's something a little different to get used to.
Do you remember what the yardage was on Cottonwood? I think it was only 4,000 yards. I can't remember.
Oh, I can check right now for you.
Because the new course that we're at, which is a par 72, from the whites where we play now, which is the first tee box in from the tips. 6,359 yards.
Yep.
So quite a considerable increase in yardage for the course.
Yep.
How have you played it so far? In your opinion?
So hold on before we go
Okay.
back. Cottonwood's yardage is 4,537.
And that's from the tips?
That's from the tips.
Because that's where we played from. So
Yep.
a couple thousand yards
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah, which is great for us.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's gonna that course is gonna do a couple things for us out at Medicine Hat Golf and Country. It's gonna be one. It is like Alvin just said, a couple thousand yards longer. Two, the fairways are wide, but there's lots of trees if you're wayward. So it's really forcing myself more so than probably you, because you're usually pretty good about hitting the fairway, but it's really forcing me to be more calculated about my shots and be very wary about being out of position, because if you get into the trees, it's not like you're losing your ball, but you're gonna have to play a punch out. So then you don't have an opportunity to challenge the greens. You go from
if you win the trees, you're adding strokes.
Yeah, for sure,
without a doubt.
for sure. I mean, you have a really hard time to get a par if you go in a tree. Like you're probably getting a bogey or double.
You can't attack greens from the tree lines. I mean, you literally have to put it back in play.
Yep.
And go from there. So
you just got to be more strategic, right? So, but I mean, through 8 rounds out there, I think. We've started walking too, right? Which has been a different experience for us.
I was going to get to that.
But so through the first 8 rounds out there, I feel like I'm learning to play the front really well. I think the best I've shot on the front thus far was +4, which for us, that's terrific.
You bet.
I've birdied. So number 1's a par 5. It goes par 5, par 4, par 5. For those wondering, it's a tough start. So I've birdied number 1 once, and I've birdied number 3 twice, and I did it on back-to-back days with the eagle looks multiple days.
Because hole number 3 is par 5.
Yep.
But what we have found playing from the whites is if we get a decent tee shot, we can actually attack the green in 2. Even myself.
Yeah, and especially if the wind happens to be helping, because that way sometimes the wind goes that way, and if you're getting wind help, you're definitely having opportunity to go for it.
The video will be coming up shortly, and might even already be up by the time this podcast comes out. But Chris already we already have an eagle opportunity for him on video.
Yeah, and I had two before that.
And he had 2 before that
I looked at.
But we've walked now, walking the course. This is my opinion on walking the course. I'm a bigger guy, but I want to get in better shape. I really want to get in golf shape, so that's why we kind of took up the walking part of it. I've walked 18 twice.
Yeah.
And I've been able to do it, and I'm confident in doing it now, and I'm really excited to keep doing it, because for me, it actually is a different game when you walk the course. I'm absolutely shocked at walking a 6,000 yard course. But for myself personally, that's just for me, how much more enjoyable the golf experience is when you walk the course. It's
a totally different environment.
It's a different
right?
animal. I mean, I love it. I absolutely adore just walking the course. It's so peaceful.
It is.
You're with your own thoughts, bad shots, good shots. I mean, you're just walking to your ball, and it's you and your ball. And I've really enjoyed walking, and I'm sticking with that for the summer.
I think that's one of the best decisions we made. I mean, on our previous course, I mean, it's really tough to walk because it's in the valley and it's lots of up and down. So it's not
the tee box. So you play in the coulee. You play at the bottom of the coulee, and most of the tee boxes are at the top of the ridges on the coulee.
Yeah. So
you're walking up the sides of coulees. At least on number 10, 11,
7.
Number 7. I mean,
you're getting a workout, and you're not
number 14.
Yeah, by the time you play golf, out there, you're basically exhausted from going up everything, right? Yeah, whereas where we are now, I mean, there's a slight elevation change, but you can't really.
It's more sloped.
Yeah.
Sloped. Just slope, not hilly. There's not a lot of hills there.
That's right.
I mean, I think the number 2 tee box is the only one you actually kind of got to walk up to.
Yes, yeah,
Right.
that's the steepest hill, and that's not even really a hill.
Exactly. Everything else is just kind of sloped. It slopes down as you start and slopes back up as you kind of make the turn.
And it's enjoyable to just walk the course because it's a totally different experience from riding in the cart, right? Like riding in the cart, it's like you're just fast to the ball, fast to the ball, fast to the ball. And I mean, even walking, we're playing just over 4 hours, around 4 hours for a round, which is terrific. And I mean, that's well under the pace of play out there. But like you say, I mean, if you're walking and you put a ball over here and I put a ball over here, well, we can both walk to our own balls, find our balls, reset, get ready for our next shots, and away we go.
So for myself, early in the season here, I've got, like 4 18s in and a few 9s.
Yep.
I am, with the game that I'm playing right now, which is, again, beginning of the season game. My irons aren't dialed in at all. Off the tee box is money, absolute money.
Oh, you're always on money off the tee box.
I'm rocking like a 90% fairway hit.
Jesus.
Like throughout. But I'm not hitting any greens. I think my greens in regulation is kind of like, down now below 20%. It's like 19. Oof. So iron play. But what I do find though is my ability to get around the course adequately is top notch.
Yep.
I may not be hitting greens, but my short game and my chipping is at least putting me on the green. My putting has been marginally better than it ever has been.
I was just going to say, it's definitely better this year than it has been, for sure.
I've taken a little bit more. Not that I've taken a page out of your book, because I would never admit to that, but I've taken a little bit more time with my putts and take a little bit more patience in reading the greens, because it's something I've never done well, is read greens. But now I'm starting to, the entire slope of the green, where the breaks are, I'm starting to get that, and I'm starting to take the time to figure those things out. And because these are real greens, I'm finding it's a little bit easier to manage.
Yes, and we're learning these greens at the same time, right? Because now we come to a new course, right? Like, in our previous course, the greens were very two-tiered. There's a lot of up and downs. Like, the breaks were sometimes hidden because you couldn't really see them.
Everything kind of sloped back to the fairway.
I mean, these ones you can see where the break is for the most part. It's just a matter of figuring out how much break is going to be there based upon the pace that you hit the ball with, right? And I mean, thus far, I think your putting has drastically improved. You've made a committed effort to putting better, understanding that it's not the putter. It's the putter.
I have found a putter though, an Odyssey number 5,
White Hot Face or whatever it is.
Yeah. This bad boy right here. If you're on YouTube watching this, White Hot XG number 5 Odyssey.
Yeah. With the white insert, with the standard Odyssey white insert, it's a nice putter for you. It's a half. It's basically a half moon. It's a half mallet, half blade.
I actually really like it. And we talked throughout our podcasting. I talked about aesthetics, looking down and liking what you're looking down at. I really like that putter, and I think now that thing is in my bag and I'm comfortable with it. I like the Super Stroke 3.0 grip.
Yep. Yeah, that's the same grip I have.
That's the one that's going to be in my bag for the summer.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to keep working at it, keep plugging away. And
speaking of bags, you got anything else new in that bag for this year?
As you might have seen on our socials over the winter, we did get some clubs sent to us by Lazarus, and the Lazarus hybrid, 24 degree 5 hybrid.
Which, by the way, if you haven't checked out our review of them, they're really nice clubs.
Is in the bag, and when we hit it down at the course and we tried it out, this club was money, and I was so impressed with it that it immediately went in the bag. And
when you had a hole there that you had a club.
I had a hole between two of my other hybrids.
Yep.
That this thing fills quite nicely, and honestly, not too many plugs here for Lazarus, but the head cover is on point. The club itself, a little bit of weight at the bottom, but
it's clean,
just clean and effortless to swing.
Mm-hmm.
I think this club is not coming out of the bag.
When I
So-
swung that one in relation to my my fitted Mizuno hybrids, like the distance is almost spot on the
your
same.
numbers, because we were at the track, man.
Yeah.
Your numbers were only marginally
Yeah,
lower
only marginally different.
from a fitted Mizuno club. So
Yep.
that gives kudos to Lazarus and what they're doing. With
They're
their
a good
clubs.
product. So
So-
if you're just getting into the golf game and you're looking for something a little bit more on the affordable side, Lazarus is one of those golfing brands that are out there available to you.
We've got this
online.
56-degree wedge as well.
Milled face.
Milled face.
They're gorgeous.
This we've tried this as well, and this is.
As far as wedges
So I
go,
use-
that's a real nice
I
wedge.
use Kirkland wedges, right on par with the Kirkland wedges. You could swap these in and out, and you wouldn't really know the difference with what club you were swinging. It's a really, really nice club. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a giveaway on this one somewhere down the road.
That wouldn't be
If
bad,
it if it doesn't fall into somebody's bag. I think Big Dave, when we were out, said that he doesn't have anything below his pitching
Ooh,
wedge.
I might have to bring him a wedge for you to see how he likes
maybe
it.
Dave gets the wedge.
Yeah.
Speaking of giveaways,
Yeah.
now that we're here,
Yes.
we've reached again milestones that we've reached over the winter for the social media part of what we do. We reached 100 subs on YouTube. We've surpassed that now, so that's cool.
Yep.
We always said we would do a giveaway once we reach 2K on Instagram. We're well past 2K on Instagram now, so maybe as you see this or hear this podcast coming out on the Monday, the previous weekend, we might have already done a post on the giveaway. So we're going to give away 3 of Mike Johnny's hats from 36 a Day Golf Co.
Yeah.
The bucket hat, the trucker hat, and
This one?
that one, the white hat. So we have a 3 hat package that we'll be packaging up together and giving away to somebody. Stay tuned or check out, because it's probably up by now. We'll be doing a giveaway.
Yep.
So, and once we reach 3K, we'll do another giveaway of something else.
Yeah. I mean, and
But those milestones that we've reached over the winter definitely makes us, speak for myself, gives us a little bit of confidence in that what we're doing here is not only working, but we're connecting with the people that we want to connect with.
a little bit of validation after 3 years of
You
some
bet.
work,
You
right?
bet. All the friends. We just put out episode 50. Let's give a throwback to episode 50 here, where we had Mike, Johnny, and Mac from On the Screws podcast on. That thing was an hour and a half of absolute insanity.
Yeah, give that a listen if you haven't already.
If you haven't already, go give that a listen, because we were chirping the entire time for an hour and a half.
Good wholesome fun.
Find out why Mac's sitting on the floor. Find out why the ginger here came in late and was, at that time he had the beard. Now he doesn't have the beard.
Yeah.
Find out why that happened. Because it was important, and Chris, doing what he does as coaching volleyball, it was really important. So go back and check that out. And as we continue on, we making more contacts, making more friends. Jordan from Odin was on. He was nice enough to send us some golf balls here.
Yeah.
The X1s.
Can't wait to get those on the course. And take a look at how they
I
play
am
out.
really excited to get these out on the course and give these the old Alvinator workout here.
The old college try.
Yeah, you bet. And you can have a sleeve and give them a try, because the way you hit the ball is different than the way I hit the ball, and it'd be nice to see how
they react.
how they correlate,
Yep.
right? And it's just been nice this winter. We talk about milestones. Having people reach out to us to come on the podcast has been an awesome and amazing experience. It's pleasant to know that now we're getting that type of notice in the sphere of hacker podcasts. It's nice to have that and have people reach out, and we still reach out to people and get some on, and we've got some more guests coming.
Yep.
So
We became part of the Golfer Gang Network.
we joined the network.
Yep.
Shout out to all the boys on the Golfer Gang Network. That's something that we're growing and building into as we continue on down the road here. We'll see where that goes. But yeah, we're looking forward to this summer. We're just literally just getting a taste of starting our golf this year. I mean,
Well, we get a
I-
taste, and then we have our fifth winter, and then we get a taste, then we have our sixth winter.
I haven't gotten into that flow routine of like 2 or 3 times a week, guaranteed going to the course. Like,
Yup.
we were supposed to have a tea time last night. That was canceled. We have a tea time for tomorrow night. We don't know if we're going to be able to play that yet. You're out of town this weekend. You're going to golf at
We're golfing Speargrass on Sunday.
Speargrass on Sunday.
So I've talked about Speargrass before. It's a little hidden gem outside of Calgary, about 30 minutes to the southeast. And it's just a little community. It's got 6 par 3s, 6 par 4s, 6 par 5s.
Yes.
It's a fun little course. We try to play it at least once every year. Oftentimes
I'm
we'll
going to
play
try
it
and get that
multiple.
one in this summer.
Well, if we're gonna go, I'll go with you.
We're going.
That is an awesome course to play. I recommend it to anyone who's in the area. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and play there. I was thinking about trying to get somewhere in on Friday, but I don't know if the weather is gonna cooperate. So, I mean, it is early May now because it's
any golf we get in April
is a bonus.
Is a bonus, is gravy. And I mean,
But well, you know what's crazy? I was looking at my socials, and 2 years ago we were golfing April 1st, like wide open. When we started the season in April, and we golfed solid from there because we didn't get a spring; it went right to summer.
Welcome to Southern Alberta.
This is our once every 4 or 5 years where we actually get a spring, and it's annoying when you want to golf.
You want to golf, right? And it's like, so now me and Clark are going to golf on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you're going to be in Calgary, and so.
Yeah, I got a couple weekends left of just to tie up the rest of our volleyball season, and then it's all golf, all golf all the time.
All golf all the time for the rest of the summer.
That's the game plan all the rest of the summer. Yeah, so I mean, we moved our courses, and we were talking about how we were playing it. I mean, how have you been playing the course out there? How have you found it so far?
I have found very confidently that I can get around that course. So we talked about, I haven't really scored that well for 18s yet. I think I'm low 90s.
Which for you, if we go back a couple years ago when we played there, your goal was to break 100.
Break 100 there, yeah.
Now you're doing it with your eyes closed.
Now I haven't played that great, and I'm just shooting the low 90s.
Yep.
But again, like when I look at the positives here early in the season, so I've had the opportunity to shoot the front at a +6.
Yep.
And then I've had the opportunity to shoot the back at a +6.
Yep. Yeah, you've played the back better than I have all year. Yeah.
If I haven't been able to put together an 18 yet, like a solid 18. So I know it's there, and I know I can play both front and back now decently. Mm-hmm. Figuring out the no-go zones on the course. Once I figure out, I haven't been to the range yet. I literally have not been to the range yet.
No, you've just been rolling up. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I haven't been putting that work yet, but that work's coming.
Yeah.
But we're not playing on Sunday. Sunday is going to be a range session for me.
But I think I looked at our rounds early in the year because we were both kind of in that low 90 range, and then last Saturday I shot an 85. I had an electric front 9, and then on the back I just fucking shit my pants.
But it's kind of like where I relate to that because on the Saturday I had a really good front 9 and blew up on the back 9.
Yeah.
And then the Sunday when we played,
the opposite.
I started double bogey, triple bogey, double bogey. That's how I started the round.
Yeah, and I beat you by 1 stroke because I started +5 on the front.
Right, and then when we made the turn and went to the back 9, I shot a +6.
Yes.
Right, so you know what I've learned over the 3 years that we play now and golfing is that if I just stop and be patient, I have the shots for the course.
Yeah. Sometimes we just rush things too much, right?
I've found a couple times being out there early in the season that I lose my iron swing on the course. You've seen it, right?
Yep.
It's there where I'm chunking and I'm duffing, but I'm still getting around decently.
Yep.
Some holes I blow up because I think I had a quad on Sunday.
Yeah, but
front,
that typically happens to you because you let the frustration build a little bit, and then everything's quick for you.
Yes.
It's next shot's quicker, next shot's quicker, next shot's quicker. You get to the putting.
But what happened Sunday was when I kind of had that +15 front.
Yeah.
And made the turn.
Yeah.
The turn was better.
Yes, because you just said, "Hey, new 9. Right. Let's just start again."
So you look at that growth mentally for me.
Yep.
At the beginning of this season, I hope I will work on carrying that through.
I think you can do it.
I've been happy with there's more positives than negatives in golf so far this season as we begin. I made some shots, again, going over bunkers, holding greens and stuff like that, that I've never really had in the bag.
Yep.
But early in the season, they're there, so I know I have them.
So I think this year, like I said to you, I think once we get, another month and a half into the year, I think we can consistently shoot in the 80s, like mid low 80s. I think the goal should be for us this year. Like our goal last year was to break 70. Our goal this year is to break 80 out there.
I think so.
Because I think we can both do it.
I think
It's
so.
just, you're gonna have to have that round where you're locked in.
Where you're locked in.
And you're just gonna have to. We're learning to do a better job of just taking what you're given out there. Like you get a bad, you hit a rough tee shot or whatever, and it's like, okay, now I'm gonna try for par, but I'll take a bogey if that's what happens, right?
Okay.
Instead of aggressively pressing and trying to make the hero shots.
Managing the course, like now, managing the course is becoming a little easier.
Yes, we have a better idea.
I've never played well when I play a course for the first time because, again, I don't know, never really comfortable in my shots and not really knowing the course. But I think last year when we played the Bloom the first time,
Yep.
and I shot an 89,
Yep.
that gave me a lot of confidence to say, hey, as long as you know your yardage and as long as you can see where you're putting the ball,
Trust your yardage.
trust your yardage, you can do it.
Yep.
So
it's
it's just starting to grow in that aspect of the golf game. Man, again, it's like we're getting these stop starts here early in the season, and I just want to go now, right?
Oh, me too. You might have seen my review on so you guys might have heard of Journal 18.
Journal 18, yeah.
So I picked up a little Journal 18 book. I'd been seeing them on the socials and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like this is something that can give you tangible feedback on your game. So I've had it out now for I took it out for one 9-hole round and one 18, and basically you set your three focuses for your round beforehand. In your little book, you say your technical, your mental, and your what's the other one? Technical, mental, and there's one other one. Anyways, you set your what you want to work on in those spots, and what do you can constitute that your round would be good. And then the coolest thing, the thing that I like the most, is it has a green and it has a fairway, and you jot down your drives and your approach shots on all of them. So then when you go back at the end of the round and you can look at your 18 approach shots and your 14 or 15 drives, and you can be like, what's my pattern? Where am I missing? What are my tendencies? And then you can actually see that. Because, it's one thing to go out there and be like, yeah, I know I hit the ball over here on this one. But here on those, it's like, I'm 200 yards out and I'm off to the left all the time. Or I'm 150 yards out and I'm off to the right all the time.
Tangible information that you can see.
100%. And that you can actually use, right? You like feedback to use on what you're doing. So that's a tool that I decided, I'm going to pick that up and we'll give it a go. Really love it, by the way. I have no doubt that once I fill up this book, probably this year, I don't know how many rounds are in there, but it'll probably be full this year. I'll pick up another one. It's just a nice, I've learned, not so much in golf, but like in everything in life, any help that you can kind of get, or anything that you can help, any tools that you can get to kind of help along the way are usually good. Like the more tools you can put in your toolbox, the better typically, right? So that's a cool little tool that's out there. If you guys have never heard of them, check out Journal 18 Golf. Really, really cool little books they do. Yep.
Just a cool tool that you can throw in.
They have different sizes and stuff, and
Yep.
different things that you can go through in there. So just another one of those things that might not be as known out there. But I found that it's going to be really good for me. And early in the season when we went out and we did our rounds, I'm like this every year. I'm stubborn because I want to work on certain things, and I was hitting my driver all the time, and I was doing whatever. And my driver can be
sporadic.
It can be really, really good, or it can be really fucking bad.
So, that's one thing I've noticed about you, and even around the course that we're playing now, that's 6,400 yards from where we play.
Yep.
You don't need your driver.
No, and that's what I was just gonna say. This past weekend, I decided, I'll go to the range, and if I'm just not hitting it well, Like earlier in the season, I was like, yeah, I'll keep pushing through, and then I'm shooting low 90s, and I'm like, I'm just adding strokes here off the tee that I don't need to add. Like I know I can be like mid 80s, no problem.
Because you're out of shape because your driver
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you haven't missed both ways with it. So
Yes. So then
you can hook it and you can slice it.
yeah. So then I decided, I'll just hit 3-wood off the tee. I know I have a fade on it. I know that it's going to be to the left when I miss with it, and I'm like, I can at least play that. So then, I hit 3-wood off the tee on Sunday, and I was on in 2 and had the eagle opportunity on hole number 1.
Well, again, there's a par 4 on the front that we played a 9, and you hit a 5-wood and almost drove the green
into the wind.
It
was over 300 plus, and I couldn't believe that. That was just pure. That was stupid.
But one of the things we talked about on the golf course about your driver, the little caveat that I put in your head was maybe a mini driver is something that you should consider putting in the bag.
Maybe at some point. But it's funny because I would love for the driver to work for me, because when I'm hitting it well, and if I can find the consistency, I can hit it 300 plus. Mm-hmm. And it's just it just opens up a whole new world for me, because all of a sudden it's like, if you put a wedge in my hand into just about every green on my second shot, I'm going to score well, because I'm generally a good wedge player and a good putter.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, but I can't force that. If it's not going to work, I just got to kind of do my work on the range and try and keep putting in that work when I have time. And when it's time to go out there and play rounds, because I don't like to just lay out a score. Like that's why I put the driver away. I'm like, I'm a little frustrated. Like I want to see some success here. I want to have a good round or two. And that's what I did. And I'm like, okay, I feel better about myself now. So it's just been a battle for me, right? Like I've often talked to you about, maybe I should put some driving irons in my bag, because I hit irons really well.
Well, again, this year being a transition year for us and how we're growing and stuff, I don't think it would be a bad idea for you to test some of that stuff.
Yeah. It's
just put a driving iron in your bag, bring it. But again, you're not going to bring it out to the course. But when we do a range day, you take it down to the range and you hit it and go, oh, okay. Or nah, this is totally out of whack. I can't do this.
But that's what like the demo days are for.
Yeah.
Like we can go out on the demo days for our club and say, hey, I want a demo. Can you give me a driving iron? I don't care what the brand is. I want to hit a driving iron to feel what it feels like, right? Like my bag is all Mizuno except for 4 clubs. But that doesn't mean I can't hit a Callaway driving iron. I want to feel what it feels like, because it has a driver shaft in it. And I can hit an iron really well. I don't imagine that I can't hit a driving iron pretty far.
What was your 6-iron averaging over the beginning of the season here?
Like 205 to 210.
I was going to say 205, 204.
Yeah.
Around that with a 6-iron.
Yeah.
I'm not hitting that. Like I'm just not hitting those type of yardage.
Well, it's just silly though, because it's like it's kind of funny, because if you look at the last 4 years where we've really gotten into it, right? And I go from like I could hit a 6-iron maybe like 160 yards if I was lucky when we first started, and I've added almost 50 yards to that club. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. It just does. It just gives you so many more options.
There's like. I seen you when we played, like even last year at Cottonwood, number 6, which is the hole we would go for the green on. It's a 214 carry.
Yeah.
Again, over trees or around trees. If like
you put a little cut on it.
Cut it, and you use your 6-iron there, and there wasn't too many times you didn't at least get it up there.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
You just. It's just everybody's got a little bit of a different swing, right? Like my irons they almost go. They're almost to like a scratch golfer type distance. I'm not a scratch golfer by any means. I'm a 14.3 handicap. But I have the distance that most scratch golfers have with a lot of their iron shots. The difference is I'm fucking spray and pray with my woods. But my 3-wood, my 5-wood on it's so bad, but my driver is like, it's a large hit or miss. Whereas you hit the fairway all the time.
All the time. So again, we're kind of reversed here, and this is how our games balance out.
Yep.
Is I'm good off the tee box. I'm looking at the greens from the fairway on most holes.
Yep.
I just can't hit the fucking green.
This is why we make great scramble partners, right? Because our games complement each other really well that way.
But now, with the rounds that I put in this year, my handicap has gone down to 14.2.
Yeah.
That's the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah.
So we're starting the season. I'm starting this season with my lowest
Good. Keep dropping it.
handicap that I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because I've never gone below 14.3, but now I'm at 14.2. So my lowest handicap index is there. You're at 14.3?
Yeah, mine's hanging out at 14.3. The
So-
lowest I've gone is 10.8 last year.
So let's say it here, episode 51 of the Mulligans and Hackers podcast. Our handicaps have the potential to drop to single digits by the end of this year.
I think so. That's the goal. That's always the goal.
That's the goal, right? I'll give Mac a shout out here because he said last year I would get my handicap down to single digits. It did not happen. But let's put that on the table for this year. I'm going to work at getting my handicap down to a single digit. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's there.
Well, I think we can definitely do it. Where was my lowest? It was... Oh, yeah, it was way down there.
You were rocking a really good handicap for a while last year.
Yeah, 10.8 was my lowest.
10.8, yeah.
10, at the beginning of July, like, it was... Yeah, towards the beginning of July... at the beginning of July, I dropped it all the way down to 10.8, and then I held it basically for a month and a half.
Yeah, because there was a couple when we played the par 66 Cottonwood. There was a couple of upper times there where you broke 70.
Yeah,
you reached 69,
yeah.
which was big.
Yeah, and then
big.
I had that 4 over at Red Cliff, which is a big round,
big
right?
Round, yeah, you bet.
But I mean, there's glimpses there. I was able to hold it for a month, but I said last year I wanted to get down to single digit handicap. Didn't quite make it. This year, I think, based upon the way we're starting,
yep,
I think it's very possible that we can get there.
Yeah, I'm just. It's interesting to see for me.
And once you get there, it's hard to hold it.
Oh, for sure. I just want to get there. I mean,
yeah,
you get there. But even just talking about golf and like moving to a course like Medicine Hat, which is par 72, blah blah blah, and we're gonna go play Canada a few times this year.
Yeah, and Desert Bloom. We're gonna make sure we
Bloom,
get there before we go to our AGT.
The ability for us now as hacker golfers to be able to just go around these course and maybe not score well, maybe not like always be in the 80s, but be in the low 90s or whatever, but just to be able to manage and getting around these courses and having the shots.
But I mean, the thing is even so, if we had the worst day possible before on our older course, it would be like a plus 18 day, right? So here. We're starting early. We have the worst day possible. We're around plus 20 to plus 22, right?
Yep,
over.
plus 20, plus
so
20,
I mean, we're already setting that threshold, and we've only we're just starting to figure this course out, and we're really not even figuring it out yet because we're not into where the greens like early on in the year. You and I were putting the greens like they were mid-season, and they're a lot slower, and then they get moisture and they get slower, and it's like, okay, well the ball's not rolling the way it's going to in a month. Because a lot of the putts we're leaving just short are going to be going in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's going to change things, right? So, I have no doubt that we're going to be our regular scores out there, there's no reason to believe that they can't be between like 80 to 86 all the time. And I mean, and we could, I would say probably 2 months and one of us will have broken 80. If we continue on the trajectory we're on. If we, we continue to put in the work and we continue to go out there and work hard. Because, I mean, it's just a matter of we've got the front nine figured out pretty good. And you've got the back nine kind of figured out. The back nine for me, I'm kind of still, I've been trying a few different things to kind of see what I like and what I don't like.
There's some tough holes on the back, man.
Well, it's,
like
they're long, dude.
That par 4, that dog legs to the left, which is the hardest hole on the course.
Oh my God.
Right?
And that's like over 400 yards.
So I play that one almost as a 3-shot par 4.
Right. You almost have to.
I almost have to because I don't have that distance off the tee box.
And if you don't get a good drive off that, you're playing for, hopefully I get a par, but I'm probably getting a bogey at best.
We are kind of figuring that out as well. The holes that you can score on and the holes that you just kind of have to take what it gives you.
Well, the hole before that, hole 13, which is the longest par 3. And it's oftentimes it's into the wind and it's like 200 yards.
Yeah.
It could be like 215 to the back pin. And it's just like, geez.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough hole.
That's a hole that you know we look at and we think
the
about.
first par 3 on the front.
Well, with the bowl,
With
yeah,
the bowl,
hole 4.
That one's a tough one.
That one's on a hill and it's bold. It's,
again, same thing. There's no bailout right.
No, it's all OB to the right.
A tough one. But
and
again,
if you go left, you end up on the hill and you got a downhill chip.
Yeah. Just figuring this type of stuff out, but again, it's so just a different look every time you go to the course now, and that
I like it because I can't remember who I was talking to. It was it might have been Jake, and when we were in Calgary last week or a couple of weekends ago, and it was like, you know, like I liked playing Cottonwood, but it was like just going through the motions, because you're like, oh, same club every day, just grab the same club every day. Whereas out here, I mean, I can hit a multitude of clubs off the tee box depending on what kind of look I want to give myself today, or what the weather conditions are, or what's happening, right? Like I can grab driver on just about every par 4 if I wanted to, or I can go less than driver depending on what I want to leave myself with or what's happening, right? So you get a lot more opportunity and a lot more different looks available to you.
I just it's for me, it's impressive that we're here after 3 years, and the ability for us to go and play those type of courses.
Well, confidently.
Yes, and have the shots to play it, you know, at least reasonably well is a testament to our growth and our commitment to the game, I guess.
Well, I remember when we started. I mean, there's no way I would be going to the Medicine Hat Golf and Country and just hanging out on the first tee box without shitting my pants as I'm getting ready to tee off.
Well, so this was the number one hole at Medicine Hat. Not so much last year, but the 2 years previous. That hole was in my head and in my kitchen.
Well, it's a long-ass par 5 with a dogleg, right?
I was so psyched out by that hole. Number one, every time we showed up, that it was just, I wasn't even ready to play because that hole intimidated me.
Yep.
Now it's a 3-shot par 5 for me, and just play it that way.
Yeah. There's you found a way to just get over that mental hurdle and just be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get on at 3. I'm gonna give myself a chance at a birdie. And I mean, hopefully I walk away with a par. I mean, that's the way it is, right?
Hit the green and reg and 2-putt and get out of there. Right? Yeah. And the next par 4 is definitely reachable in 2. And the next one is the scoreable par 5.
Yep.
You got a tough par 3, but I mean, the ability just to go.
Then you have another scoreable par 4, and another scoreable par 4 after that, right? And a scoreable par 3 after that.
I'm looking forward to go. Whereas last year, kind of got a little bored with playing Cottonwood, and I don't say that, you know, critically or anything. You know,
it's just we've played hundreds of rounds there.
We've played almost 300 rounds at this course. This one course, you know, and it's a par 66. It's only 4,000.
I mean, I'm sure we'll go back and play it a couple times this year.
Well, there's still the Halo tournament that
100%
that we have to play in. I mean,
it's different when you play it once a month.
Yeah.
Versus,
I mean, it'll
5 times a week.
It'll be really enjoyable the first time we go back and play it.
Oh yeah,
because we're like, oh yeah, it's like putting on your old shoes or old slippers. Right? It's like, oh yeah, right. I remember this, but it's totally excited to play, you know, 50, 60 rounds at Medicine Hat and Connaught.
Yep.
And even Desert Bloom, like throughout the summer. That's our home now, right?
Well, and they present different challenges, and like from going and playing Redcliffe on Sunday, from playing Medicine Hat in the morning and then playing Redcliffe on Sunday. Like Redcliffe's a little bit more open. Yes, it's windy, so is Medicine Hat because they're both on the river. But playing Redcliffe in the afternoon, I was like, I don't have to be as exact with my shots here. I was like, it's kind of nice actually. You know, if one happens to get away from me a little bit, I'm not like it's not like I have zero chance to get there in 2. I still have an opportunity to get there in 2, right? So, I mean, I feel like playing at Medicine Hat is going to make us better players when it comes to those other courses that are open. Because we're going to get so used to trying to put it in a playable area that when you go play those other courses and you're getting more consistent and better putting in the playable area and hitting it longer because of that, because typically it'll be straighter, that you go to those courses where it's a little bit more wide open and you're like, oh shit, I got like a 40-yard chip here or something, or like a 110-yard wedge to the green or whatever.
Again, it'd be interesting to see if we went and played like, you know, our old hats like Burstall, Rolling Hills.
Burstall's wide open,
right? And Rolling Hills and Maple Creek. To see what type of the game that we
how
now,
it translates
to those type of courses, right?
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, like we'll probably do a Rolling Hills Bow Island trip again. Just do it all in a day.
Yeah,
Play
yeah,
a 36 in a
yeah,
day, right?
yeah.
Like
We do that.
take a Saturday or a Sunday and do that. I mean, because there's going to be tournaments at our home course that we're not going to be available that weekend to play. So that'll be something that we do, and it's just I really feel when we were talking about the Switch last year, it was a lot of I wanted to be forced to pull something out of my bag that would, to have the distance that would try us. Because a lot of the holes on Cottonwood are like, I mean, 300, 320,
Yeah.
330, like
I mean,
nothing crazy.
If you're 250 off the tee box,
Or even 200,
yeah, you're wedging it in.
You're laughing, right? So I mean, now like most of these holes that we're playing are like 380, 390.
Yep.
400 plus a couple of the par fours, and I mean then the par fives are over 500.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean it's really making you be accurate and pushing you to hit longer shots, and which in turn is going to make you better players.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I'm seeing it already. The shots that you have to think about and like, oh, this is the yardage. This club is the yardage. Trust it and go.
well, and your creativity and the way you have to manufacture shots around there, right? Like we're not 100% familiar with some of the spots. There's been a couple times like I'm in the trees and I'm kind of like, did I just play a punch-out shot? I mean, I hit a pretty high wedge. Did I hit this over? Like you're talking about 14, the long one. I sprayed the day I shot an 85. I sprayed it out to the left, and I was in the trees, but I was far enough up there that I had a line through. I basically had to go right over top of the 15th green to land it on the 14th green. And I'm like, I should punch this. And I'm like, no, it's a 9-iron. If I just hit a 9-iron up over the trees, I can land it on the green or just short of the green. And that's exactly what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, like that's just a little creativity and believing in what you do, right? But that's just understanding and knowing, okay, I can miss over there because then I actually have a shot. Whereas you don't know that until you do that stuff.
We're figuring that out. Again, it won't take that long for us to get 20 or 30 rounds at that course. And
I mean, we play so much, like once the summer comes, it'll be 3 to 5 times a week. I mean, getting out there and golf, we'll be walking, whether it's, if Medicine Hat's full up, we'll go to Connaught because we have the dual membership and we'll walk 9 there or whatever.
Yep.
And I mean, or we'll play 18 there on the weekend. Or if that one's filled up, we'll go to Desert Bloom and play. I mean, they have the reciprocal, so we basically get it for almost half price, which is, I mean, that's not bad to play out there at all. Really,
nope.
It's a beautiful course.
And again, it's more of a linksy style course.
Less linksy now, but still linksy. Yeah.
And gives you just different looks.
And the greens are like putting on glass out there.
And
so
there's that one hole on the back, the par 4, that doesn't play into my game that I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get around.
Which one?
That's the one where it's that short shot off the tee and then like a long shot in.
Oh yeah, the one where I hit a 6-iron last year and put it in the drink.
Yeah.
You have to hit like almost like a friggin' 8 or 9 iron.
The green as a whole is elevated around and there's a bunker in front.
Yep.
So I have to hit a wood in, like a 5-wood or a 3-wood in.
Yep.
I can't hold the green with a 5-wood or a 3-wood. So I have to figure out, like, my thought process is now is like hybrid off the tee box, ram an iron into that front bunker and hope to pray to God you can get up and down for a bogey, right?
Well, you're a good sand player. And I mean, that's the other thing about Medicine Hat. Beautiful sandboxes to play in, right? Like, I mean, and the practice facility there, I mean, you get access to as a member, which they have an awesome sand bunker. They have an awesome chipping green. They have you can putt on that green as well. They have the front putting green. And then they have their driving range.
Yep.
So there's so much, like even if the driving range is being used by junior golfers or it's closed or picking or whatever, you can still go down there and spend 2 hours on the
putting and chipping green.
100% and work on your sand shots and do stuff. And I mean, that's something that the last year and a half, I'm like, I'd really like to get better at the sand. But I mean, at our old course, you didn't really have much opportunity, right?
No.
Whereas here, it's like, yeah, you're going to hit the sand once in a while. That's going to happen because of where the bunkers are. You're not going to avoid them always.
I think I played out of the sand a couple of weekends ago 7 times out of the 18 holes. I think I was out of the sand.
You were thinking about vacation.
Yeah, no doubt. I needed a towel and suntan lotion.
But I mean, that's a part of the game that a lot of amateur golfers don't work on because they're like, well, I don't want to be there. Yeah, well, you have to know how to get out of there if you're in there.
You bet. And I had a little bit of one of them rounds, I had a little bit of I guess a mind funk when it came out to getting out of the bunkers. I had 3 bunkers in a row that I was really struggled to get out of, but
I think you were just rushing though.
I think I was. Yeah, I was.
You weren't staying true to your normal
Right,
setup in
and-
there, and
But again, I take that now and I go. That was just 3 holes in a row. I lost my bunker shot for a bit, but now I have it back. And before I got to go back to the marker I had before. I'm good out of the bunkers.
yeah, you are.
Okay,
You're really good out of the bunkers.
I had a bad stretch, but my bunker play is good, and I just have to go back to that marker.
Yep.
We talk about finding your markers. We haven't played enough. Well, now
Yep.
we've played enough where we should have some markers,
Yep.
right?
No,
So-
I've done a lot of that's a part of my game I've really worked on, because if I can get out of the bunker in one and at least give myself a putt for, say, a par or
Yeah.
whatever, I mean, I always have a chance then.
Worst case scenario, it's a bogey then, right?
Typically, yeah, typically. So it's good, and I mean, the bunkers there are like really really nice,
Yeah.
which
They're
is
they're
cool.
raked.
Yeah, and they're beautiful sand, which
mean,
which is awesome.
What else do you say? They're raked.
Speaking of nice bunkers, when was the last time you played Redcliffe?
Last year sometime.
They redid all the bunkers.
Really?
Yes, they dug them out. They put brand new sand in all
Nice.
of them. They're building a couple forward tee boxes for some of the other ones. Like you in some spots they have the sand laid down, and then they put grass seed over it so that they can grow the bunker, grow the tee box. So they're making some changes out there, but they redid all of their bunkers out there. So they have beautiful sand out there now.
I'll get out there at least once this year.
So
Maybe twice.
it's yeah. I mean, we'll get out there with Curtis and get some golf in for sure.
You bet.
But yeah, no, it's I'm excited, man. Like I can't wait for golf to.
I know. I can't wait. to get
Golf to officially like go.
start. Yeah, we're close because we still have the end of May here, and May long here is usually a chaotic weekend of terrible weather. But
But I mean, then you got June, July, August are just going to be batshit crazy.
yeah, and there's going to be a lot of golfing events that we're going to do, and let's get at it.
I can't wait. It's going to be so fun, and I mean, we'll keep you guys in the loop. I mean,
We're gonna-
whether we're dropping episodes like this or we're
Yeah.
dropping guest episodes.
Well,
I mean,
we're gonna have to drop at least 1 or 2 episodes like this every month to keep
oh
caught
yeah,
up on our
for sure,
golf,
for sure.
and then we'll drop our guest episodes.
I mean,
in.
we might play a round, or we might play an event round, or whatever, and then we can come hang out. We can record it and then drop it on the Monday.
You bet. I mean, we're in new territory when it comes to the podcast as well because we're so regular with it on Mondays now that. Again, this is a learning curve for us too, so we'll see how this goes down the road. And
we're gonna try and get more. We're gonna try and get more footage from the golf course. I know we said this last year and the year before, but we're trying.
I've got a little bit. I've
Yeah.
got a little bit. that
We
I'm
we
working
tried to
on,
do
so-
a play a hole with Chris and Alvin the other day. It was a lot of work. So
Yeah, I'm just not there yet to get that type of footage, right? But
We'll get
work
there.
on it.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
work
get
on
there.
It.
you guys can critique my cross-handed swing and Alvin's fairway finder swing, and away we
Yeah,
go.
my 240, 250 yard drive off every tee box in the
Yeah.
middle of the fairway. Yeah,
Yeah.
you bet. I'll take that too.
Absolutely, that's gonna set you up to score well out there for sure,
Yeah,
buddy.
well, let's see how it goes. So we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see, depending on our guest schedule, and we'll figure all that out as we go. But
Yeah, and if you're golfing already, you're lucky bastards. If not, and you're preparing for golf, best of luck with your season. And when we check in with you guys again, we hope to we'll fill you guys in on how we're doing
You
and
bet.
our chase for breaking 80 and the new success and the new life over at the new golf course this year for
Yeah,
us.
episode 51.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Episode 51.
3 years later, and we're at episode 51. It's wild. Thanks for coming on the ride with us, guys.
Yeah, guys, we really appreciate everybody that follows us. Head over to YouTube, subscribe, like, comment.
Instagram, Facebook, Mulligans and Hackers Golf, TikTok.
now.
Yeah, Alvin put us up on TikTok now.
We made the jump to TikTok, so yeah, we'll see how that goes.
It's going to be TikTok famous here soon.
It was really nice for you to put up that reel about the Journal 18.
Yep.
So do more of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I mean, admittedly, during the winter time, I'm very volleyball invested. So I mean, I kind of take a step back from golf for 6 months ish. But I mean, now it's getting to the dialing back on that and really gearing up for golf. As soon as the golf, like the snow goes away, I'm pumped for golf. I mean, I got a Sticky Mat Pro that I bought. You guys have probably seen those on the socials. It's a little fun chipping mat that you have like sticky balls and you can play a bunch of games with. I have it hanging in my living room right now, and I just sit there and I just chip balls at it, and it's something that I just do. I'll putt one way, and then when I'm bored, I'll go and I'll chip the other way, and it's just we're gonna bring it to our family barbecues and like when I go to visit my dad and stuff because we like to play those kinds of games because everyone likes golf. So another cool thing you guys can check out on the socials is Sticky Golf Pro. Check them out. They got some cool products too. So
there we go. Episode 51 in the books, guys. Appreciate you jumping and listening on to our bambling about golf. But yeah, thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Keep listening. Episode 51 in the books. Take care.
Later.